Sister, can we talk about something that nobody wants to say out loud? You're exhausted from giving everything to everyone else, while your own dreams sit in the corner collecting dust. And somewhere deep inside, there's a voice whispering that wanting more money, more ease, more abundance makes you selfish, greedy, or not spiritual enough. You've been taught that good women sacrifice, that prosperity comes through struggle, that rest is laziness, and receiving without suffering is somehow wrong. But what if I told you that everything you've been taught about wealth is backwards? What if the real power isn't in working yourself to the bone, but in learning to rest in your divine feminine energy, to attract instead of chase, to become a magnet for miracles, simply by remembering who you already are? Here's the truth that the world doesn't want you to know. The law of attraction for women works differently than the hustle culture lies you've been fed, and your worthiness of wealth has absolutely nothing to do with how hard you work or how much you sacrifice. You are worthy simply because you exist. And the moment you step into that prosperity consciousness, the moment you embrace gratitude practice, positive affirmations for women, an abundance mindset for women, without guilt or apology, everything shifts. Imagine waking up knowing that money flows to you easily, that your self-love journey and your bank account are intimately connected. That manifestation for her isn't about forcing or proving, but about aligning with the wealth magnetism that's been waiting for you all along. What you're about to discover in this guide will challenge everything you thought you knew about abundance, success, and feminine power, because the women who attract miracles daily aren't the ones grinding harder. They're the ones who've learned to raise their vibration, to reprogram their subconscious, to trust that prosperity rituals for women and gratitude unlocks abundance faster than any amount of exhausting effort ever could. So take a deep breath, place your hand on your heart, and get ready to manifest your dream life, not through sacrifice, but through the radical act of believing you're already worthy of wealth, already chosen, already an abundant woman who's about to step into her full feminine confidence and claim what's always been hers. Sister, let me tell you something that changed everything for me. The universe isn't withholding abundance from you. You've just been tuned to the wrong frequency. The law of attraction for women works differently than what we've been taught. It's not about hustling harder or proving your worth through exhaustion. Divine feminine energy knows that true prosperity consciousness starts when you realize God, Source, or Spirit is your ultimate provider. And scarcity is just an illusion your mind created from old wounds and societal programming that told you to shrink. When you step into this truth, manifestation for her becomes effortless because you're no longer chasing, you're attracting. The abundance mindset for women isn't about affirmations that feel empty. It's about recognizing that supply flows in perfect order when your inner world aligns with divine consciousness. Imagine waking up knowing that wealth magnetism is your birthright, not something you need to earn through sacrifice or self-betrayal. This is where your self-love journey intersects with prosperity. When you believe you're already connected to infinite supply, money flows to me easily becomes your natural state, not a desperate wish. And here's the magic that leads us deeper. This alignment isn't just spiritual theory, it's a formula you can activate daily through your words, emotions, and feminine confidence. The way you speak to yourself in the mirror during your morning gratitude practice, the way you journal about your worthy of wealth identity. These aren't small rituals, they're subconscious reprogramming tools that raise your vibration instantly. So let's explore how your words become the wand that manifests your dream life. Because prosperity rituals for women start with understanding the spiritual psychology behind every thought you think. Beautiful soul, here's what most women don't realize. Every time you say, "I can't afford this," or "money is so hard," you're not just stating facts. You're giving commands to your subconscious that shape your entire reality. Positive affirmations for women aren't just pretty words, they're pattern interrupters that erase the thoughts of lack, limitation, and fear that were planted in you by a world that benefits from your smallness. When you stand at your bathroom mirror each morning and declare, "I now erase from my mind every thought of scarcity," you're doing subconscious reprogramming at the deepest level, rewiring neural pathways that have kept you stuck in survival mode instead of thriving in your abundant woman energy. This is where the law of attraction for women gets powerful. Your word is literally creative force. And when you speak with feminine power and conviction, the word becomes flesh, meaning your declarations take physical form. Think about it. Every breakthrough you've had started as a thought you believed in so deeply, it had no choice but to materialize. Try this prosperity ritual. Tonight write, write down 3 wealth affirmations, speak them out loud with your hand on your heart, and feel the truth of large sums of money come to me quickly and easily resonating in your body. That feeling, that vibrational alignment, is what separates women who attract miracles daily from those who stay trapped in the exhausting cycle of chasing instead of receiving. And here's the shift that changes everything, leading us to the next layer of truth. When you stop chasing and start attracting, you move from masculine hustle energy into divine feminine energy, where magnetism replaces force. An abundance mindset for women isn't about doing more, it's about being more aligned, more grateful, more open to the prosperity consciousness that's already flowing toward you. So now let's dive into how circulation and increase work together, because understanding the law of increase is what transforms your manifestation for her from occasional wins into a consistent, ever-expanding flow of blessings. Listen, sister, one of the biggest blocks I see in women's prosperity consciousness is the fear of giving, the fear of letting money flow out because we've been conditioned to grip, hoard, and protect what little we have. But here's the truth that will set you free. The law of increase is spiritual law, and it operates on circulation, not accumulation. When you give with gratitude, whether it's a compliment, a donation, or simply blessing the money as it leaves your hands, you're telling the universe, I trust there's more coming. And that trust is what activates wealth magnetism in your life, turning you into a channel rather than a blocked pipe. This is why your gratitude practice isn't just about feeling good, it's the actual mechanism that multiplies abundance. Try this manifestation for her ritual. Every time you pay a bill or buy something, whisper, I bless this money, and it returns to me multiplied. And watch how this simple act of blessing removes the sting of spending and replaces it with the energy of expansion. What you appreciate multiplies, what you resent depletes. So when you shift from ugh, another expense, to thank you for this exchange, you're literally programming prosperity rituals for women into your daily life. The abundant woman knows that money is like breath. It must flow in and out to keep you alive and thriving. And here's where your feminine confidence becomes your superpower, bridging us to the next breakthrough. When you understand that giving and receiving are the same circular motion, you stop feeling guilty for wanting more and start feeling powerful for claiming it. The self-love journey intersects perfectly with financial flow, because when you love yourself enough to receive without shame, money flows to me easily becomes your new normal, not an affirmation you're trying to convince yourself of. So now let's talk about reframing your entire relationship with money, because the way you see wealth determines whether it serves your divine, feminine energy or controls it. And that's where true freedom begins. Beautiful. Let's get real about something most spiritual women struggle with. The guilt of wanting wealth, the shame of desiring abundance, the fear that prosperity somehow makes you less pure or less worthy. But here's the paradigm shift that changes everything. Money is your servant, not your master. And when you reverse this hierarchy, you step into feminine power that's unstoppable. The law of attraction for women works best when you stop living under money's rule, controlled by bills, fear, scarcity, and start directing it with your vision, your purpose, your divine feminine energy that knows exactly how to use resources to create beauty, impact, and transformation in the world. This is where subconscious reprogramming becomes essential. You must heal the belief that spiritual women should be poor, that wanting more is selfish, that abundance somehow equals greed. Stand in front of your mirror tomorrow morning and declare with conviction, there is no guilt in receiving. There is no fear in abundance. I am worthy of wealth simply because I exist. This positive affirmation for women dismantles generations of conditioning that taught you to sacrifice, to struggle, to prove your value through suffering. When you feel safe to receive, when your self-love journey includes financial self-love, money stops being the enemy and becomes the amplifier of your mission, your joy, your capacity to manifest your dream life without apology. And here's the truth that opens the next door of understanding. Prosperity consciousness isn't just about attracting money. It's about raising your vibration so high that you become a magnet for all forms of good. And gratitude is the key that unlocks it all. An abundance mindset for women means recognizing that wealth flows through you, not to you, making you a sacred channel for blessings that ripple out to everyone you touch. So let's dive into the vibrational practice of gratitude, because this is where intuitive manifesting meets practical magic, where your daily rituals become the bridge between the unseen abundance and the tangible prosperity. that's already on its way to you. Sister, if I could give you only one tool to transform your entire financial reality, it would be this. Gratitude unlocks abundance faster than any other practice. And it's not just spiritual woo, it's neuroscience meeting manifestation for her. When you wake up and immediately write 3 things you're grateful for in your prosperity journal, even before checking your phone, you're activating your brain's dopamine system and rewiring your reticular activating system to notice opportunities instead of obstacles. This gratitude practice isn't passive thankfulness, it's active magnetism, a deliberate choice to say thank you before the blessing arrives, collapsing the gap between your desire and its manifestation because you're declaring it already done. Here's your prosperity ritual for women that changes everything. Tonight, create a gratitude ledger where you write down 3 things you received today: money, compliments, ideas, kindness, and 3 things you gave your time, your praise, your generosity, your energy. This trains your subconscious reprogramming to see circulation instead of scarcity, to recognize that you're already living in flow, already an abundant woman who attracts miracles daily. When you bless what you have, more comes because gratitude is your magnet, your channel, your gateway to receiving the large sums of money and beautiful opportunities that are already searching for someone with your vibration, your feminine confidence, your unwavering belief that money flows to me is. And here's where your divine feminine energy becomes unstoppable, leading us to integrate everything we've learned. Gratitude isn't just appreciation, it's recognition of completion, a vibrational statement that says, I am already provided for, I am already chosen. This raise your vibration practice transforms you from someone who waits for abundance into someone who embodies it, who walks through life knowing she's worthy of wealth, not because of what she does, but because of who she is. So now let's bring all these principles together into one powerful system, because understanding the abundance consciousness model is what turns these concepts from inspiring ideas into your lived, breathed, manifest your dream life reality. Beautiful soul, now we're bringing everything together into a living, breathing system that you can activate every single day. This is where the law of attraction for women stops being theory and becomes your tangible reality. Imagine a 6-step vibrational process flowing through you. It starts with alignment, God is my supply, moves through declaration, your powerful spoken word, deepens into emotional faith, that unshakable trust in your worthiness, opens into allowing no more chasing, only attracting, expands through gratitude, thanking the universe in advance, and multiplies through blessing everything you touch. This abundance mindset for women isn't linear, it's circular, a sacred spiral where each step feeds the next, transforming fear into faith, scarcity into sufficiency, exhausting effort into magnetic ease, and painful waiting into joyful receiving. Here's how this prosperity consciousness becomes practical magic in your daily life. Start your morning by placing your hand on your heart and moving through each step aligned with Source. Speak your positive affirmations for women out loud. Feel the truth vibrating in your body. Release the need to control how it comes. Give thanks for what's already yours in the unseen. And bless everyone and everything you encounter today. This isn't just a self-love journey, it's wealth magnetism in motion. Divine feminine energy activating subconscious reprogramming that makes you a walking, breathing manifestation for her portal. When you live this model, you become the woman who attracts miracles daily, not because she's lucky, but because she's aligned, anchored in her feminine power, unapologetic about her worthy of wealth, identity, and this integration is what prepares you for the practical application. The real-world prosperity rituals for women that will cement these teachings into your nervous system and your bank account. Understanding the model is beautiful, but embodying it through daily practice is what separates dreamers from wishers from receivers, women who talk about abundance from abundant women who live it. So let's get practical now, because intuitive manifesting needs grounded action. And I'm about to give you exercises that will help you raise your vibration and manifest your dream life starting tomorrow morning. Sister, theory without practice is just pretty words, so let's make this real with prosperity rituals for women. You can start tomorrow and, trust me, these aren't complicated or time-consuming, because divine feminine energy knows that simplicity is power. Your first ritual is a morning affirmation practice. Before you do anything else, stand in front of your mirror, place both hands on your heart, take 3 deep breaths, and repeat these words with conviction. God is my supply. I do not chase, I attract. Large sums of money come to me quickly and easily, under grace, in perfect ways. This subconscious reprogramming sets your vibrational tone for the entire day, activating wealth magnetism from the moment you open your eyes, reminding you that the law of attraction for women responds to your inner state, not your outer hustle. Your second practice is the gratitude ledger I mentioned earlier, and this is where gratitude unlocks abundance in the most tangible way. Every evening before bed, open your journal and write down 3 things you received today. It could be money, a kind word, an idea, an opportunity, even a smile, and 3 things you gave your time, your energy, your praise, your money. This manifestation for her exercise trains your prosperity consciousness to see circulation instead of lack, to recognize that you're already an abundant woman living in flow, already worthy of wealth because you're contributing to the world's abundance. When you track giving and receiving with this level of awareness, you're doing intuitive manifesting that reprograms your reticular activating system to notice opportunities everywhere. And here's the ritual that seals everything, opening the door to deeper understanding. The bless and release exercise every single time you spend money paying bills, buying coffee, investing in yourself. Silently or out loud say, I bless this money, and it multiplies as it goes forth, returning to me tenfold. This positive affirmation for women transforms spending from a painful loss into a powerful act of faith, turning every transaction into a prosperity ritual that raises your vibration and reminds you that money flows to me easily when I trust the circulation. These 3 practices, morning affirmations, evening gratitude ledger, and blessing every exchange, will shift your entire relationship with abundance. And to understand why they work so powerfully, we need to look at the philosophical and spiritual roots that make these principles timeless and universal. Beautiful, what you're learning isn't some trendy manifestation hack. It's rooted in a profound spiritual movement that recognized divine feminine energy and prosperity consciousness as sacred birthright over a century ago. The New Thought movement brought together visionaries like Florence Scovel Shinn, who taught that your word is your wand, Ernest Holmes, who showed us that universal mind responds to the nature of our thoughts, and Neville Goddard, who proved that imagination creates reality when you feel it real. These teachers understood the law of attraction for women before it had that name, recognizing that abundance mindset for women isn't about gender, it's about receptivity, intuition, faith, and the magnetic power of aligned belief meeting spoken word. What makes this philosophical foundation so powerful for your self-love journey is that it validated what women have always known intuitively, that wealth magnetism flows through softness, not force, through trust rather than control, through gratitude practice instead of aggressive ambition. Charles Fillmore of Unity Church declared that prosperity is the divine birthright of every soul, not something you earn through suffering or prove through sacrifice, but something you claim through feminine confidence and spiritual alignment. This is why positive affirmations for women work. They're not manipulating reality. They're aligning you with the reality that already exists in divine mind, helping you raise your vibration to match the frequency of the abundant woman you're becoming, the worthy of wealth identity that's been yours all along. And here's why understanding this context matters as we move deeper. When you know these principles have transformed millions of lives across generations, when you see that subconscious reprogramming and manifestation for her aren't new age fantasies, but time-tested spiritual technologies, you trust them more deeply. You stop questioning whether money flows to me easily as possible, and you start embodying it as inevitable. Because you're standing on the shoulders of teachers who proved that prosperity rituals for women create real, tangible, miraculous results. So now, let's break down the deeper metaphysical logic that makes all of this work. Because understanding the formula is what turns you from a student of abundance into a master of attract miracles daily living. Sister, let's get to the core formula that makes manifestation for her actually work, because when you understand the metaphysical logic, you stop hoping and start knowing. The equation is simple but profound. Faith, your inner state, plus word, your spoken decree, plus emotion, your vibration, equals manifestation, your outer experience. This isn't mystical mumbo-jumbo, it's the law of attraction for women broken down into actionable components where your prosperity consciousness faith meets your positive affirmations for women word meets your gratitude practice and emotional alignment vibration, creating the perfect storm of wealth magnetism that has no choice but to materialize in your physical reality. Here's what this means for your daily life and your abundance mindset for women. If you're saying affirmations but your inner state is fear, the equation is unbalanced and manifestation stalls. If you believe deeply but never speak it out loud or take aligned action, you're missing the word component that activates subconscious reprogramming. And if you say the words without feeling them in your body, without that gut level knowing that money flows to me easily, you're skipping the emotional magnetism that's the final ingredient in this divine feminine energy formula. This is why some women attract miracles daily while others struggle. It's not about worthiness, you're already worthy of wealth. It's about alignment across all three dimensions simultaneously, creating that unstoppable raise your vibration momentum. And here's the truth that bridges us to the final understanding. Because divine law is immutable, meaning it works the same way every single time without exception. Once you balance this inner equation, the outer world must align. This is why your prosperity rituals for women aren't optional extras but essential practices. Why your self-love journey is directly connected to your bank account. Why feminine confidence in your worthiness creates tangible financial results. So now let's move to the ultimate state of embodiment. Because understanding the formula intellectually is beautiful, but becoming the formula, living as the abundant woman who is the manifestation, that's where your entire life transforms and you step into the truth of manifest your dream life as your only reality. Beautiful soul, we've arrived at the most powerful truth of all. You don't become abundant by chasing it, manifesting it, or even attracting it. To become abundance itself. And that shift changes absolutely everything. When you stand in the center of all you've spoken, when you declare, I am already chosen, I am aligned, I am supported, I am provided for. You're not affirming a future state, you're recognizing your present reality, your divine feminine energy that's always been connected to infinite supply. This is the law of attraction for women at its highest expression. Consciousness precedes condition, meaning who you are creates what you have. And when you embody the abundant woman identity, you stop seeking prosperity and you simply express it in every breath, every choice, every moment. This embodiment is what separates women who temporarily manifest from women who live in permanent prosperity consciousness. Sits the difference between doing gratitude practice and being gratitude, between saying positive affirmations for women and becoming the affirmation itself. Your self-love journey culminates here, in this sacred recognition that you are worthy of wealth, not because of what you've done or will do, but because worthiness is woven into your soul's fabric, inseparable from your existence. When you wake up tomorrow and look in that mirror, don't just repeat the words, feel them, breathe them. Let your entire nervous system register that money flows to me easily isn't a wish. It's a description of your natural state, your feminine power operating at full capacity, your subconscious reprogramming complete. And this, my sister, is where all your prosperity rituals for women converge into one lived experience. You are the divine abundance tree, rooted in faith, branched in gratitude, flowering in manifestation for her that's effortless and constant. You don't attract miracles daily, you are the miracle. The walking testimony that abundance mindset for women transforms lives, that raise your vibration practices create real wealth, that intuitive manifesting guided by divine feminine energy makes the impossible inevitable. So now you have everything, the philosophy, the formula, the practices, the embodiment, and all that's left is for you to step fully into this truth, to manifest your dream life, not someday but starting right now, because you already are everything you've been seeking. So here we are. Beautiful soul, you've walked through the entire journey from scarcity to prosperity consciousness, from doubt to divine feminine energy, from exhaustion to embodiment. Now comes the most important part, actually living it, breathing it, becoming the abundant woman who no longer apologizes for her desires or shrinks to make others comfortable. Let me ask you something that might shake you awake. What if you stopped feeling selfish for wanting abundance and started feeling powerful for claiming it? What if every moment you spend in guilt about receiving is a moment you're blocking blessings, not just from yourself, but from everyone whose life you're meant to touch with your wealth, your wisdom, your fully expressed feminine power? The law of attraction for women isn't theory anymore, it's your lived reality the moment you decide it is. And your gratitude practice, your positive affirmations. For women, your prosperity rituals aren't luxuries, They're necessities for the woman who's ready to raise her vibration and manifest her dream life unapologetically. I want you to look in the mirror tomorrow morning and ask yourself, am I ready to stop playing small? Am I ready to embody wealth magnetism without shame? Am I ready to trust that money flows to me easily because I'm worthy of wealth simply for existing? Because sister, the universe has been waiting for your yes, and the moment you give it fully, without reservation, everything you've been reading about becomes your tangible, touchable, bankable reality. Now here's what I need you to do. Don't let this be another inspiring thing you read and forget. Make this your turning point, your before and after moment. Share this with a woman in your life who needs to hear that manifestation for her is real, that abundance mindset for women transforms lives, that she doesn't have to choose between spirituality and prosperity. Comment below and tell me which practice you're committing to first, the morning affirmations, the gratitude ledger, or the blessed release ritual, because when we witness each other's self-love journey and celebrate our attract miracles, daily wins, we create a community of women rising together in feminine confidence and subconscious reprogramming that changes the world. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the prosperity consciousness content that's coming. Because you deserve to be surrounded by voices that remind you, you are worthy, you are chosen, you are already the abundant woman you've been becoming. And gratitude unlocks abundance the moment you stop waiting for permission and start claiming what's always been.